Congrats to Florida State. It's one of the best teams I've seen since I've been back in college football. Very disappointed. Pretty emotional locker room. We didn't come into this game to be close with them. We came to win the game. So I thought we had a really good plan. We wanted to win the time of possession, which is why we kind of played the way we did. I was going to be very aggressive. Maybe I was too aggressive on fourth down early in the game, but it worked out for us. I felt good going into halftime, and then they jumped on us pretty quickly. But then we fought back. I mean, man, we fought all the way back. And this isn't on one player. This isn't on a missed extra point. We're not going to go down that road. We had a chance to win it at the end of the game. I wanted to drag him into the fourth. I wanted to win the time of possession. I wanted to take the ball away. And I thought if we did that, we'd beat them. I'm really proud of our guys. Like, it was hard in the locker room. And I think this game brought them closer together. A couple guys spoke up in the locker room after the game, and just listening, it was pretty inspiring. So they're hurt, they're upset, trust me. I mean, but I think this one's going to bring us closer together. We still got things to clean up, obviously, but this can be a really good team. So, and it's not like I'm upset that we lost. I am upset that we lost. I'm just hurting for those guys because we did have a chance. And I wish I could have done more. So congrats to them. Mike Norvell's a great coach. That's a really good team, man. That is a really good football team. Our O-line today, blocking those guys, I mean, that's impressive. That's really, really impressive. That D-line is as good as I've seen. I thought Thomas played well. Our receivers caught the ball. Our defense stepped up at the end when we could have buckled, and they could have run away with this game, which is what they've done. This team is just totally taken over in the second half against LSU and everyone else they've played. They scored more than 35 points a game. I'm hurt and I'm upset for the guys, but I'm really proud of this. I'm proud of this group right now. So, questions?
Let's talk about chunk plays. We didn't even see those against the first two opponents, those kind of chunk plays you had today.
Yeah. One, I thought our O-line did a really good job, Rich. And I mean that. That group we blocked, you don't want to look at them before the game. I mean, those guys look like NFL guys across the board. I thought the protection was really good. We have good receivers. They gave him time. He extended some with his feet, and he hit some late down the field. I thought we caught the ball much better, much better. And then our receivers broke tackles, and they made plays with their feet. I thought we hit some big runs. I thought Kai ran really hard. I thought Thomas ran the ball well. See, those chunk plays, it's a combination of the O-line, the quarterbacks, and the wideouts.
Jeff, 18 penalties. Can you describe why you think that happened?
I think today was a little different, and it wasn't the post-snap personal fouls that got me really hot. We wanted to take clock, as much clock as we could. And we were doing some stuff early in the game where you saw we were staying in the huddle and then kind of running to the line. So we were taking a lot of the clock. And I think it must have been this week operationally between the quarterback and the O-line with it being loud. There were some other issues there that I tried to explain to the refs, but I'm not sure that helped. We cleaned it up in the second half. We cleaned that part of it, so we stopped doing that. Selma's just a young guy in there jumping. You know, I don't – the false starts, I mean – a player reaches out and tries to make a tackle at the end of the game on a face mask. We didn't have the personal fouls. We didn't have the dumb fouls. I got to go back and watch them, but it's too many. And we got to clean that up. But there was a couple today on the ineligible guys downfield too that I got to see that on tape too. But the guys went in at halftime and they adjusted to it, and I thought the staff did a good job. Throughout the game. I thought it was a really good plan. We could have executed it better on both levels, but yeah, we got to clean it up.
As you mentioned, you were really aggressive today in the first quarter, up 7-3. You could kick the field goal. What was the thinking behind that?
Up 7-3. I kick a field goal. Down in distance was probably 9-10. I was aggressive up to 4. I mean, there's being aggressive and then there's being reckless, right? It's like at the end of the game, I didn't go for it on 4th and 24. And that's just reckless. So I think it was calculated early in the game. The 4th and 2 on the -30. It's just, I go with my gut on those. And I believe in the O-line, and Kai was running the ball well. And we're 28-point underdogs, the number 3 team in the country. I didn't try to coach this game to be close. I coached it to win.
Jeff, talk a little bit about Thomas Castellanos and his performance. I mean, it was one for the record books, if you think about it, the last 10 years. Just talk about his performance.
I mean, he ran for 121 yards, he threw for 305, had 2 touchdowns. And there's some things that we got to clean up, like a lot of that procedural stuff. He's a young kid. He's a sophomore. It's his 2nd start, probably the biggest game he's ever played in his life. So I'm proud of him. He stays composed. He's a tough kid. He sees down the field. He made some big throws, had some big runs. I mean, it's a gutty performance. He's going to be a great player. Great player.
Jeff, was the time of possession the way that you wanted to try and prevent the Florida State offense from moving, or what were you doing defensively too to try and limit those receivers, out in space or pre-snap or something like that?
Yeah, good question. Plan to win, I believe it was, if you had the ball for like 34 minutes, they were 3-10. And if you don't, they haven't lost. So we had 33 minutes and 50 seconds. So I did. I wanted to take as much clock as we could to keep them off the field. There are a variety of ways we did it. We decided we were going to press the wideouts, which teams hadn't done against them. They're big guys, and if you play them off, they take advantage of you. So our game plan, I called out the corners in the team meeting on Tuesday and said, you guys, we're going to press them. You guys got to play great. Got to get your hands on guys like that, make them stop and start their feet because they don't accelerate as fast. Now, they're great players, and they're huge. So we tried to get our hands on them, and we played more man probably than we had. They hit a seam on us in zone, and we missed the tackle, which was disappointing. And then on the 1 touchdown, the safety had bad eyes, and he was in man on the guy. But I thought overall, those guys, I didn't even look at the numbers. Travis was 16-24 for 212. I don't know when the last time that's happened.
And just as a follow-up to that with the DBs too, when they are pressing them, what are some of the things that they kind of had to look for in the receivers, not to get, hit them high, you go check, like...
No, you try to hit them right. You try to hit them right in the chest, make them stop and start their feet. I wanted to be aggressive playing the ball down the field. We had the 1 PI in the red zone on Cole. I thought he turned back and looked for it, but I think they just ran into each other, So you either call it or you don't, and they did. I just want to be physical with these guys. I didn't want to coach this game to be close, and those were some risky moves we made. But I wanted our guys to know that I thought we could win the game, and we believed we could, and we had to take some risky and be aggressive, and we were.
Did the refs explain those, differential signals penalties for delay of game? I've never heard of that before.
I am very excited to watch this film and have conversations. I'm with you. So I got to find out a lot of things that happened and were communicated to me.
Coach, obviously a special day with direct Indiana Day. Just your thoughts on the atmosphere overall?
I thought it was great. I saw Allison, gave her a big hug. Usually brings tears to my eyes. I actually stood with her. She was getting she was sitting out there in the end zone. She's a special woman with a special son. I thought the students were great. I thought it was loud. I appreciate them. And they need to come back because we're going to get this thing going. And I think it's the first time I felt this team they believe in each other right now more than they did coming into this game. And I know maybe you don't understand why, but I felt that in the locker room. So the atmosphere was great. I'm very grateful for that. And I hope that continues.
Despite the loss, how can you use the comeback in this game overall to build forward?
Play clean football, be aggressive, have a great plan. We're inches away from knocking off the number 3 team in the country, which I think BC hasn't done. I think it's like 0-17 versus top 4 teams at home. It was an opportunity to make history, and they came together and they fought, really fought at the end and came back. Had a chance to win it at the end of the game. So I think they look at this, and if you listen to them talk, they know who they just played, and they respect that team. But they also, I think you're going to start to see them believe in themselves a little bit more maybe than they had. And I think sometimes with young players, you need a little bit of that. So we'll see.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.